Hey everybody, it's Tom, and we're back again with a comic book haul. Trying to decide whether I want to do this in two installments or one. We'll see how long it takes to get through this first batch of books. I guess as always, I'll just start off with some current stuff that I picked up. So this is how it's a gauge again of how long it's been since I put something out. This has been out for a couple of weeks already. Ride number 1. Invisible Woman number 1. I think number 2's out already. I haven't picked that up yet from my shop. Black Cat number 2. J. Scott Campbell cover. We got Wonder Woman 74. This cool Jenny Frison cover. Superman 13. More Adam Hughes goodness. And Catwoman 13. Some art germ. So that's, I think, it for current stuff. I'll go through a couple of books that I picked up at one of the flea markets that I went to. There was somebody at the Englishtown flea market that had a small box of comics that she was selling. I don't know. It was just random books. But I found this in there, and I think it was either $1 or $2 per book. I can't recall. Knowing me, it can't be more than $2. But I got this Amazing Spider-Man Essentials Volume 2. Again, no more than $1 or $2. From the same person, I got these books as well. The Marvel Comics No Prize book. I bought these because these were British imports, strictly 12 pence versions, and they actually came from a shop that is no longer in business. Let's see if you can see this. It's called Stateside Comics. There. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got 171 and 172. Those were $1 each. And then I found Catwoman 89 for $1, and some Perillo stuff. Queen Sonia number 5. So those were some dollar books from the flea market. And then some more dollar goodness. I actually thought this was something more special than it was. I remember when this book came out that people were talking about it as it being a hot book. And I think there's different versions of the cover. Die number 1. I paid $1 for that. It's not worth much more than $1. There's a different variant of that has some different word bubbles. That one of them is more valuable than that one. Can't remember which one it is, but who knows? Maybe something will come of that book someday. Iron Man number 284. I think this is the first appearance of Rhodes in the War Machine armor. Plus the death of Tony Stark kind of coincides with Endgame. Shogun Warriors number 1. I picked that up for $1. These were all from my local shop. A lot of people have been showing this book off for some reason, and I haven't paid attention why, but this series, Machine Man, was popular recently. A lot of people on YouTube were specking on this run for some reason, and of course I don't remember why. God Country number 1, the second printing for $1, and God Country number 2, first print for $1. Then he had a bunch of Superboy Silver Age for $1 a piece. And I wasn't going to leave them, even though I'm not a big Superman fan, but there's no way I'm leaving Silver Age for $1. He did have them priced out higher at one point, and I think he was just trying to make room for more inventory. So we got Superboy 140. I think that's 140. And then 135. 139. 137. And these are in pretty decent shape. This one's got a date stamp on it. Superboy 136. And this one's a minor key, actually. I looked it up on the Key Collector app, and I can't remember what the first appearance is. But Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 147. There's a minor first appearance in there. The Key Collector app said it was like a $30 book, but yeah, good luck trying to get $30 for that. And then just 2 other dollar books that I got from my local shop. Actually, no, only one other one. Flex Mentalo #1. Got that in the dollar bin as well. Let me just make some room for some more goodies. Stupid YouTube. I'm trying to listen to some music too at the same time on YouTube, and freaking ads keep popping up. I'm playing more ads than I am music. So annoying. All right. More Englishtown books that I got. These were actually all $1 a piece. Spectacular Spider-Man #101. And I normally don't have a lot of luck down in Englishtown. I really don't. But the last couple times I went down there, I've been kind of lucky. Web of Spider-Man 119. The gold edition of Spider-Man #1. Web of Spider-Man #97. And then there's a book that I've only seen on YouTube. I've actually never seen out in my travels before. Incredible Hulk and versus Venom #1. I think this was like a mail away or something along those lines. And then I like these DC Millennium editions. I picked these up on the cheap as well. This one's got some minor condition issues, but I wasn't going to leave it for $1. So I think you can see that little creasing action right there. But All-Star Comics #3. And Superman #1. Iconic cover. All right. Yeah, so I got a feeling I'm going to get through both batches because we're only at 8 minutes here. So I took a drive to a shop that's a little bit far away from my house, and I think I only just got this one book. Yep, just this one book. But it was pretty cool. I spent a good 35 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 40, going through all the long boxes looking for certain spec books. Struck out on pretty much everything. But I did find this in their magazine bin. It's my first issue from this run. Another British book, Captain Britain #2. I guess second appearance of Captain Britain. The problem is it is missing there's a boomerang that was an insert in here, so that's not in here. I think Captain Britain #1 has a mask. Sometimes that's missing. This is kind of the same thing. But Captain Britain #2 for $10. I was definitely not going to leave that. Got a Instagram purchase, a Golden Age romance book. Sorry, I forgot the seller's name. Maybe if I'm not too lazy, I'll put it in the notes on my video. But I got this Glamorous Romances number. What number is this? Can't remember the number, but this has a date stamp of September 1951, and it's got this gorgeous Lauren Bacall painted cover. I think I got that for $15 shipped, so I was very happy to get that. I found another shop relatively close by, and they had some creepy magazines and Vampirella magazines, and I got this one for $5. And you know, the funny thing though is I didn't notice this until now. I still would have picked it up anyway, but I'm flipping over to the back here, and it says here, rip and back cover damaged. And it also, somebody wrote here, soiled. So I never popped it out of the bag, and I never do that. I'm really bad with that. I'm just going to take a quick look and make sure that that did pertain to this book. And it most certainly did. But still, for $5, it's a Frazetta cover that I did not have. But yep, there's the soilage and the rippage. But what do you expect for $5? I was still happy to have it. And again, I bought it mainly for the cover grab for a Frazetta cover that I did not have before. Frazetta's always got a unique way of drawing his ladies, kind of like J. Scott Campbell has a unique way of doing his, but a lot of his women always kind of have that cherub-looking face to them. I don't know if you kind of know what I'm talking about there, but if you notice, they always kind of have that kind of look to them. And then finally found some spec books a couple of weeks ago. I was watching the weekly top 10 videos, you know, for the hot books, and then on Instagram this popped. All of a sudden in my feed, people were selling this book for $40, and I didn't know what was going on. I mean, if you're not on Instagram, I think you guys should create an account and start, you know, following folks who, you know, post on there on the regular comic book related stuff, because that's how I found out that this book became hot. And the very next day, Saturday, I went to Zap Comics in Manalapan and found those both for, I think they were $4 each in the bins. I was hoping I'd find more. I went to 3 shops that day, but I did come away with those 2. And then I found this Marvel Fanfare number 11, another speculation book for the character that's going to be in the new Black Widow movie. Her first appearance is in that. That became like a $30 book overnight, or even higher. And then my local shop, Main Street Comics, he sent me a message on Instagram asking me if I wanted this 1 in 100 J. Scott Campbell Black Cat cover, and I said absolutely. So he gave me a great deal on that. Thank you, Mike. And rounding out some things that I got from Main Street Comics is this another golden oldie. It's got some minor issues, but I love this cover. As you can see down there, it's got some minor damage, but the spine looks really good to me. Jumbo Comics number 80, I got that for $50. So I was very happy to grab those. So I was like I said, very happy to find those books. So we're at 14 minutes. I might as well just show the rest. Let me just make some more room without knocking the camera over. I've had these books sitting around a while. I'm finally glad to get it out of the way so I can get them put away. All right. More dollar stuff. As I was hunting for the flavor of the minute at my local shop, I found these in his dollar bin, and I thought they'd be more valuable than they are. But even at 1 in 25 variants, they're pretty well priced at $1 a piece. They may go for like $3 or $4, surprisingly. I was looking them up on eBay. They don't sell for much, but I figured why not pick up a 1 in 25 variant for $1. This is a book that I'm trying to buy up every time I come across it. Captain America 323, first appearance of the Super Patriot. Forgot his last name is Walker. I forgot, John Walker. I think he becomes Captain America after Captain America, stops being Cap for a while. But then the guy becomes the U.S. agent, and I think there's speculation that he is going to be in that Winter Soldier Falcon show that's going to be on the Disney streaming service. So and that's the first appearance of the U.S. agent is Cap 354. Man, I've been running all over looking for that book as well, and every back issue bin with Captain America is always missing those two books right there. Dollar find, Thor 411, first appearance of the New Warriors. I got this at Zap for $2.50. Another one of my runs to try to pick up the flavor of the minute, looking for some Silver Surfer books, which I'll get to in a minute, but I found that in there for $2.50. Shadow Man number 8, found 2 copies of this. It's the first appearance of a villain whose name again escapes me. I should start making some notes. And then digging through, I found this. It's nothing but just a nice condition dollar book from Bronze Age for Peter Parker, Spider-Man, number 24. And then I found this mini series for $1 a piece, Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Again, more Marvel Disney speculation. So we got issue 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. And then some additional flea market finds. I went to the Columbus flea market and I picked up, Jesus, how did I miss this too? I never notice things until I shoot my videos, but I got this for $1. Didn't see that at the time. But I always loved this cover. I think I have a couple copies of this. Voodoo number 2 for $1. And Annihilation Conquest number 4. So I picked those up. It was a very unfruitful day that day down at the Columbus Flea Market. I've got those 2 books, and then I got these 2 books. I've always liked this cover. I finally found a copy of that. The Super Cops. I think I got that for $2. And then found this for $4. This was just a trip down memory lane for me. Especially with the banana splits that are on here. It's Golden Comics Digest number, I don't think there's a number on here, but it's from 1970. Oh, number 11. It's got Yogi Bear, the Flintstones, Penelope Pitstop, Dastardly and Muttley, the banana splits, and this wolf character. I vaguely remember him. Alright, we are coming down the proverbial home stretch. Some more relatively current stuff, more Perillo goodness. Elvira number 7. Got the Alex Ross Vampirella number 1. Red Sonja Birth of a She-Devil number 1. And number 2. And then was able to score some other Perillo cheap books. Warlord of Mars 24, Lord of the Jungle, #1. This is like my 3rd or 4th copy of this one. I always seem to find this. I wonder if this was just like overprinted. Queen Sonja #1. I even think they were giving this out at a con I went to that Dynamite was like sponsoring. I know I have like at least 4 other copies of that. Queen Sonja #34, another cool Perillo cover. #30 and #8. Then another book that's become popular because of the upcoming Marvel movies, which I'm not in love with the upcoming slate of stuff. I don't know how the rest of you guys feel. I'm excited for Blade, but disappointed that Wesley Snipes isn't in it. Of course, the Thor movie is going to be good, and but there's some of these other things, I don't know. Just, we'll see. But this is tied into that, the Eternal stuff. What If, the Hulk #23. And speaking of Blade, found this for $5. Adventures into Fear #24. I think it's the first appearance or first time you see Morbius and Blade together. Master X, Splinter, tipped me off to that, so I went looking for that and found one. Another book that's been on the run, on the hot, on the rise lately, is Moon Knight #1. And then I got just a couple more things here. Found another copy of X-Men 221. I got that for $10. And then I found these were another set of books that I had no idea that there were going to be, that something was up with these until I saw it on Instagram. Silver Surfer #82 and #81. #81 is the money book, but mine, of course, has got some issues on it. But I picked those up for $1 a piece. And my third copy of this book, I got this for $5. Young Avengers #1. I think my first copy I got off of VinCrew a long time ago. So that's my 3rd copy of that. Hopefully that's a movie that gets made someday. Alright. Just a handful of books left, and then we can call it a night. And then tomorrow I get to put all these away, providing that I get this video uploaded properly. Been having issues with that lately too. Alright. That new shop that I found had a bunch of dollar Conan magazines, so I grabbed a couple. The condition's not the greatest on them, but Savage Sword of Conan #5. #10. These are all $1. #12. This one's a little rough, but like I said, $1. See, that corner's all mashed, but I didn't have it. It'll be a good placeholder. 21, I think that was. #15. #22. #27. Early issues, but then it jumps to 53. And then in the same box, I've never come across this graphic novel before. I liked this movie when it came out, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I didn't know, if you go to Disney, Roger Rabbit was big at Disneyland or Disney World. I always get them mixed up, the one in Florida. If you look hard enough, there are still remnants of Roger Rabbit in Disney, things that they kind of boarded over and tried to hide, but there is still some Roger Rabbit things inconspicuous or conspicuously placed around Disney. These were not dollar books, but I picked them up at the same shop. Some more Frazetta stuff, and again, you can see what I'm talking about, how he draws the ladies. But Eerie Comics #81, picked that up for $7. and Vampirella number 31. And then I got two more things left. And I want to thank everybody for hanging in there and watching this. We're 25 minutes in, so we'll try to end this quickly. All right. Also picked this up from that shop. He wanted 25 for this. I got him to take 20. It's the first time I've ever seen this treasury. Mike, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, Bin Crew. I know you're big on the treasuries. The Flintstones Christmas Party. This was just screamed nostalgia to me, and I had never seen it before. So that was a must-have, and it was in pretty good condition. And luckily, I had a bag that it would fit, it would fit in, and I made my own custom board for it. And then the last book is a book that I got from eBay. I think I paid $20 shipped for it. This is my first LB Cole book, White Rider and Super Horse. It does kind of remind me of like a blacklight painting. So I finally was able to cross an LB Cole book off my wish list. Oh, there's actually one other thing that I picked up. Just grab these. So the day that I went to Columbus Flea Market and came away with only 4 comics in a couple of hours of walking around, I did find these things. I've been saying a lot. But these are a bit of my childhood. The Lone Ranger figures. I got Butch Cassidy. Oops, almost knocked the camera over. Lone Ranger. It's not the proper boots. Missing his hat like Butch Cavendish. But he does have his scarf. He's got his belt and his gun belt. Wrong boots. Got a rip in his pants. So I'll have to be looking for some replacement parts for those. And I got the horse. Got the whole set for 20 bucks for all 3 of these things. I had these when I was a kid. I had the Tonto as well, and there was a town that went with these, but I did not have any of the town pieces when I was a kid. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. And if you like what you see, just hit that thumbs up button. And until next time, bye for now.